themselves to wine and food. And outside a jeweler's, some gold chains and a watch were scattered on the pavement. In Bloomsbury, the stillness grew even more profound. An odd, unnerving feeling of suspense, as though the destruction which had annihilated the countryside might at any moment strike these gracious houses in the very heart of London and leave all in smoking ruins. I stopped, staring towards the sound. It seemed as if that mighty desert of houses had found a voice for its fear and solitude. Possession of me. I was intensely weary, footsore, hungry and thirsty. Why was I wandering alone in the city of the dead? Why was I alive when London was lying in state in its black shroud? I felt intolerably lonely, drifting from street to empty street, drawn inexorably towards that cry. And pushed on towards Primrose Hill. There stood a second fighting machine, upright, but as still as the first. Abruptly, the sound ceased. Suddenly, the desolation, the solitude became unendurable. While that voice sounded, London had still seemed alive. But suddenly there was a change, the passing of something, I knew not what. Except now all that remained was this gaunt quiet. I looked up and saw a third machine. It was erect and motionless, like the others. An insane resolve possessed me. I would give my life to the Martians, here and now. I marched recklessly towards the Titan and saw that a multitude of black birds were circling and clustering about the wood. I began running along the road. I felt no fear, only a wild, trembling exultation as I ran up the hill towards the motionless monster. Out of the wood hung red shreds at which the hungry birds now pecked and tore. without it, their overturned machines were the Martians, dead, slain after all man's devices had failed by the humblest things upon the earth. Bacteria. Minute, invisible bacteria. Germs have plagued us since life began. Through millions of years, we've developed a resistance to them. But there are no bacteria on Mars. Directly the invaders arrived and drank and fed.